Hello all, welcome back to software testing course. So in the last class we had seen till internationalization testing. So we'll get started with the security testing today. So organization have to protect their intellectual properties, their data, or say a government office they have to protect the information, major information related to their country, again individuals privacy, user information. These all things have to be kept undisclosed, right? So we need something so that we can assure or we can guarantee that our data is safe. So for that we use security testing. Okay. So this security testing is done to find out the vulnerabilities of the systems and the networks. That means you check whether your data has been exposed to the outside environment or someone has stolen your information or something. So how can we do this? To provide security, we have number of security products that are installed such as antivirus software, firewalls, then access control systems, some intrusion detect systems, etc. So this security testing involves how vulnerable is your system or the network in spite of these security products. So hackers are very notorious for breaking so-called the security systems and they spread virus, commit crimes such as stealing the credit card information, etc. So security testing is a very challenging task. So maybe you have heard the term ethical hackers, right? So these ethical hackers are, we say that they are specialized security testers. So organizations such as banks, insurance agencies, credit card agencies, etc. So these organizations are hiring these ethical hackers or security testers to check whether their site, website, or whatever the app related, whatever they have, whether it has some vulnerabilities or is their data exposed to the external world. Okay, so this security testing, it involves checking whether the application is vulnerable to attacks or not. It is highly specialized activity and you need to think like a thief to catch a thief. Okay. The next type of testing is maintenance testing. So sometimes the test engineers or the testers they have to do a different type of testing. That means they have to do a testing on a software which is not presently under development. That means the software has been developed many years ago and the clients are using that, or the software was developed recently but you cannot access the developers. Why? Because the development was given to a sub company, subcontracted. That means development was given to some other organization and the contract has been entered between you and the development company. In that case, whenever the software has to be changed, what we have to do, or before that, for what all reasons the software it might get changed once it has been developed. So the first one is like modification of the software. Whenever you have new features to be added to the software, your code has to be modified. Then migration of the software, say from one platform to you move on, you have to move on to the another platform. That time also you have to do the code changes. Then correction of the software, that means fixing of a bug. Okay, so in such cases the source code written, it needs to be studied and the modifications have to be done to it. So this is a very challenging task because it is difficult to understand the code which is written by someone else and then modify it. So this maintenance testing, it involves the regression testing of the software when the changes are made to the code, so in the absence of the original developers. This means whenever the someone has changed the code, not the original developer but someone else has changed the code, that time as a tester what you have to do is like you have to do a regression test of the entire software, and then you have to have the feature or the bug which has been fixed. That testing has to be done separately. That means regression testing means you have to do a high level testing of all the functionalities that are in the system. Why? Because just to make sure the new functionality whatever has been added or the code that has been modified, it is not breaking. Okay, so the testers also need to study the changes that have been made to the code and they have to design the test cases. So the test engineers need to get involved in the white box testing as well. Fine. The next one we will study is acceptance testing. So this is the important testing as this decides whether the client approves the product or not. This will be done by your client or the client personnel. Okay. The criteria for the acceptance testing should be decided at an early stage of product development. So by the time the design is completed, a draft of this acceptance test planning, it has to be prepared and it has to be given to the client for the approval. Now this acceptance test plan, it has to include what all the functionalities you are planning to test, how it has to be tested. So the test cases, minimal number of test cases, these things has to be given. We'll see the document later. Okay. So once you prepare this acceptance test plan, you have to give this to the client for the approval. So after discussions, the client person, the discussion between you and the client person, what will happen is they might say you some changes to the acceptance test plan, to include something, to discard something. Okay. So the acceptance test plan, it has to be approved by both the parties. One is client and other one is the development organization. So this acceptance test plan should be very detailed, so detailed that if the testing is done as per your acceptance test plan step by step, all the functionalities and the parameters, performance parameters, they are tested. So the functionality is tested mostly use case oriented, that is the test cases are designed based on the way the user uses the application. Fine. So now we will see the acceptance test plan. How does it look? So it looks like something like this. So you have name of the project, then reference to the requirements document, design document, then the test setup needed for the acceptance testing, type of testing to be carried out, black box, white box, whatever the type, then the functionality to be tested, to test what are the prerequisite to that particular, you know, test case, what is the input, so the test cases. So you have a very detailed acceptance test plan. So now this test plan, it has to be approved by both your client and the developing company. Okay. Again, the location where this acceptance testing has to be conducted also need to be decided during the planning stage itself. In some cases, what will happen is your acceptance testing is carried out at the developer's premises. That means at the you might have a call and your client person joins in the call and they might use your system in front of you. Okay. Or it can be also in the client premises, that is separate operational testing is carried out by your client. So in this operational testing, the software is installed on the client computer and it is tested in the actual operational environment. We call that as production environment, which is similar to your field trial testing. So the testing has to be done from many angles, such as your usability or learnability of the software, like whether the software is user friendly or not, should it needs any improvements or not for the GUI. So these all things will be checked. Then user management will be checked, whether the system administrator is able to carry out all the management efficiently by adding deleting users, can he do all the tasks. This will be tested in acceptance testing. Then security will be tested. That means whether you taken necessary security controls that are incorporated in the software through access control mechanisms, such as the roles of the users, like the admin, he has the super user privileges, then the normal user, he should not be having privilege to delete any other users. So these things will be checked. Apart from that, backup mechanisms and disaster recovery management, these all things also be checked in the acceptance test plan by your client. Now, the next one is documentation testing. So the testers here, they need to test the documents that need to be supplied to the customer. The most important document is the user manual, that contains how to use the software, each and every detail needed for the client and users to test the software. So depending upon the type of the software and the requirements of the customer, other manuals that may need to be given to the customer are your administrator manual, developer's manual. So if you are giving some APIs with your software, then this is main installation manual. The last one is design manual, if you need to transfer the intellectual property rights to the customer. Apart from your user manual, you can support or you can provide these things as well. So the documentation testing, it involves checking the software for the accuracy, readability and aesthetics. So you need to check whether the manuals are true representation of your actual software which is being delivered. In the case of the software, it has to undergo conformance testing. The conformance testing agency, it gives you the documentation requirements. Accordingly, you need to submit all the documents as per their demand. Say for example, if you have developed a software that is used in airborne systems, okay, then you need to ensure that the documents is as per that RTCA standard. That means, say for example, you have whatever the domain you choose, the corresponding domains guidelines you need to follow, and whatever they have mentioned in the guidelines, that those documents you should be providing. Okay, so this is about your documentation testing, which is the last type of testing. Fine. So we have completed 18 types of testing. So this completes your second chapter.